This is weird, man. I'm not used to this. People don't get into comedy because they're cool, alright? That's not why people do this. There are like 45 people here who came to hear me do this. This does not fit into anything I was expecting. Thank you for coming from the hotel to here. And that's the problem, is it was a long walk, and if this doesn't go well, how long is it going to be for me? Oh man. It's going to be that awkward, like, yeah, so the guitarist is pretty good. I liked him. Didn't you do something? I don't remember that. So my name is Colin. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me here. Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Natasha, hi. Nice to see you. Hello. Thank you. Locals, nice to meet you. I came in, I met Annie, she said you're in the real New Orleans now. Right? Let's give it up for the real New Orleans. Pretty cool. We appreciate getting to experience it. I don't know how real it is when half of us from everywhere else, but nonetheless. Chicago, settle down. Settle down. Sometimes embarrassing things happen, I like to share them. I say stuff, man, I didn't even know I was planning to say it. I actually speak in high schools. Like to talk to students. Here's a weird thing. Here's to show you how weird this crowd is. Make some noise if you speak in high schools. Like, when is that ever true, right? You do. And there's one more coming from behind the stage. It's a 360 show.
3D.
Give me some warning. You scared the crap out of me. All right, so I like to talk to kids about their dreams. I like to ask them what they want to do with their life, right? This girl says, I want to be in a ballet company. I want to do ballet. And I'm like, oh, like Black Swan. Cool response, Colin. Like, oh, I saw a horror movie about that. And now your dream is a nightmare. I was trying to download this horror movie called Prom Night. Has anyone heard of this movie, Prom Night? Yeah? Okay. Not a lot of you. For the rest of you, I'll explain. Although really, I probably don't need to, right? It's a horror movie called Prom Night. Let's walk through the high points. There are some teenagers. It's prom night. There are less teenagers. It's about 2 hours, right? I feel like I covered the plot of Prom Night, right? So I went to download this movie, Prom Night, and instead I downloaded a movie called Prom, which is a Disney movie about a bunch of kids just getting ready for their first prom. I'm embarrassed about how long it took me to realize that. I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh, that guy's gonna die. Oh, I hope they die right now. Strange moment when I realized the only thing scary about prom was me wishing death on all these Disney teenagers. It's a weird moment, but I like watching horror movies because fear is really interesting to me. So while we're talking, while we're chatting, let's talk about fear for a second. Anybody have any like funny phobias, things that like freak them out, they're willing to share? What's that?
Flying things.
Flying things? I thought you said the Lion King. I was like, that is pretty scary.
Spiders.
What's that?
Glitter.
The winter?
Glitter.
All right. Just ask for clarification.
Glitter.
Glitter, move along. It freaks you out, that's a brave man. Good.
Blue.
Someone say feet? Feet. You're afraid of feet?
I don't like them.
How do you live? You're like, huh?
Keep your socks up.
They keep sneaking up on me. 100 times a day, I just scream out loud at the sight of my own feet. Well, I have an unusual fear that I want to share with you. I am afraid of sharks. And that's not the unusual part. I'm afraid of sharks in any kind of water.
Toilet.
Like a lake, or a river, or like a good-sized pool. Anyone else have this? Anyone afraid of sharks in the pool? Really? Can we talk about it? Because it's like a thing. It's a real thing. I get in the pool and I just immediately picture sharks attacking me. Makes me a very fast swimmer, powered by fear. I told my friend about this fear, and he says you gotta face this head on. All right, it's how we're gonna fix your phobia of sharks. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to picture yourself far out in the ocean. wrapped in meat. This is nice to me. So after a week of stress eating and crying, I came back out of my apartment and never asked him for advice ever again. So that's a silly fear, that's a ridiculous fear, but here's a real one, okay? I told you I'm a single guy, no kids of my own. I have a real fear, maybe some of you can relate to this. I am afraid of seeming creepy around other people's children. Right? It's a thing, right? It's 2012, everyone's seen To Catch a Predator. Their kid comes up and says hello to you, and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm standing, you know. I don't know how to be cool in that moment. Which is what makes this even funnier. This is a true story. I'm standing in the shallow end of a pool, and I see this little boy, and he's got this big life preserver. Like, big, like little hands and legs, look like a turtle. He's bobbing directly toward me. I'm like, this is not going to be good. He comes up to me, he points at the life preserver, and he says to me, no lie, you can't spank me in this. This is my nightmare. And just as it happens in the nightmare, right then his dad yells out, what are you saying to that man? He turns to explain, and I'm like, no! He says in a much louder voice, I'm telling him he can't spank me. And 20 heads turn? What do you do in that situation? There's no training for a moment like that. And I'm in the pool, I'm trapped. All I can think to do is go into the surface and stay there. Pray for a pool shark. You guys, this has been the most fun I think I could have had. Thank you so much.
Colin, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Thank you.